Hello everyone, you are welcome to today's video. So in this video we shall be looking at practice questions for GS3, that is year 9 students. So we're going to solve, we have 20 questions in this practice questions that we want to solve. So let's start with the first one. So the first one asks you to change the three figure bearing of north 48 degree west east. That is, you have to change this compass bearing to three digit bearing or three figure bearing. So the first thing you do is to sketch this compass bearing, and in sketching it we have this, we have the north, and we have the south, we have the west, we have the what, the east. So in compass bearing, is either you start from north, um, or start from south. You can move clockwise, and as well you can move anti-clockwise. But the case of this one, the line of the bearing falls between north and the west. So in that case, we're going to start from the north and move towards west with 48 degrees. So that's, you're going to have something like this. So this is 48 degrees, 048 degrees. So now we want to change this to three figure bearing. So what we're going to do now, we start, and under three figure bearing, one of the main points there is that you start from the north and move clockwise. So meaning that we're going to start from the north and move clockwise to the line, to this blue line here. So we start from the north. Let's start from the north here. Then we move clockwise. Then we stop at this line that we have here. So this is the angle. The angle with this curve with green is the angle we are what, looking for. So in that case, we need to calculate what that angle is. And how do we do that? So since the sum all the angles at this point here is 360, let's just subtract 48 from it. That's going to have 360 degrees minus 48 degrees. So this gives a 1, and this is 312 degrees. So the three digit bearing of this, that means this place is 312 degrees. So that is the answer to question number 1. So move to question number 2. For question number 2, the question says, which of the following angles cannot be constructed using a ruler and a pair of compasses? So we have 115. Let's start with the first, with the bottom one. We can do that. This is, we can use compass and a ruler to construct it. 60, we can do that. We can construct 45. That is bisection of what, 90 will give us 45. Then this one will be the answer, which is the odd one. Because if you look at it, 115 minus 90, so this gives 5, and this gives 25. So can we construct 25 with pair of compass and ruler? No. So even if you can construct 90, so that means the answer is this one, which is this 115. So move to the next question. So this question says, find the perimeter of a square whose side is 10 centimeters. So perimeter of a square is 4L. L is the length of size. So that means it's going to be 4 multiplied by what? By 10, and that gives a 40 centimeters. So which is this option here? Is that clear? Right, question 4. So if the volume of a room is 750 meters cube or cubic meter, and the area of the floor is 150 meters square, so find the height of the room. So a room that is cuboid, right? So volume of a cuboid is length times breadth times height. As you know that the length times breadth is the area of a rectangle, and a cuboid has a rectangular faces. So, and volume of a prism is the base area multiplied by the height. So in this case, we've been given the area, which is length times breadth, and the volume. and the volume which is 750, then the area which is length times breadth is 150 multiplied by what? H. So we are looking for the height. So divide both sides by 150, 100 and what? 50. So this will cancel this. Then height will then be equal to, when you divide this one by this, gives you 5 meters. I hope this is clear. All right, next question. Now, this question number 5 asks us to find the sum of the interior angles of a-sided polygon. So a-sided polygon is octagon. So sum of interior angle of any polygon is what? N minus 2 bracket 180 degrees. So n here is the number of sides, and the number of sides in this one is 8. That will be what? 8 minus 2 multiplied by what? 180 degrees. So that means you're going to have 6 multiplied by what? 180 degrees, and that is equals 1080 degrees, which is this option here. So move to the next question. Now question number 6, how many sides does a regular polygon have if its interior angle is 140 degrees? So one thing you need to take note of here, number one, is irregular, which means that all the sides are equal, and that means, and we're given that each angle there is 180 degrees. So the first thing we need to do is that sum of interior angle of any polygon, we don't know the polygon, we don't know the number of sides, so is n minus 2 brackets what? 180 degrees must be equals to 140 is the angle, is each angle. So multiply by the number of sides that we have there. That means 140 multiplied by n. That is 140n. So we are looking for the n, which is the number of sides. Opening this bracket now, we have 180n minus 360 degrees equals to 140n. We collect like terms. 180n minus 140n equals to 360 degrees. So when you subtract this, this will give us 40n equals to 360 degrees. So we divide both sides by 40. That means n is equal to 360 divided by what? 40. 0 cancels 0. Then n equals to what? 9. And that is this option here. I hope this is clear. Move to the next question. Now, number 7. A string is wound 30 times around a cylindrical object of diameter 7 meters. So calculate the length of the string. So the first thing we need to do is this. So find the perimeter of this, a cylinder. This is a cylinder. We have a cylinder. Now that a string is now wounded around it. This is what they're trying to say. Use it to roll it first time, second time, third time, until it is what? 30 times. So which means we need to know the circumference of the circular base of the cylinder. So once you know that, that means each circumference forms one time that string is being what? Wound around the cylinder. So we need to find the circumference of the circle there. So and circumference of a circle is 2 pi r or pi d. In this case, you're given diameter, we make use of what? D. So that means circumference is equal to what? Pi d. So which is same thing as 22 divided by 7 multiplied by diameter, which is what? 7. 7 cancel 7. So that means the circumference of this is what? 22 what? Centimeters. Now what would now be the length? So one wine is what? Is 22. So 22 times 30 now. That's what we're going to look for. That will be 660 meters, which is this option here. So move to the next question. All right, question is, the radii of two similar beacons are 3 centimeters and 4 centimeters. The volume of the smaller one is 27 centimeters cubed. Find the volume of the bigger one. So what you're going to do here is that we're going to have linear scale, which is 3 over 4, must be equals to the volume scale, and the smaller one, this will be the form, the 3 will be smaller one, that will be 27 all over the volume of the bigger one. But this will not be correct until, because this is volume, this side is volume, right, while this side is linear. So in order to make this linear volume, we're going to cube this side. So in that case, we're going to have 3 cube all over what, 4 cube, equals to 27 all over x. That means we're going to have 3 cube is what, 27 all over what, 64, is equal to what, 27 over what, x. So when you cross multiply, so you have 27x equals to 27 times 64. Divide both sides by 27 by 27. 27 cancel 27. Therefore, x is equal to what? 64 centimeters cube. So it means the volume of the bigger is what? 64 centimeters cube. So move to the next question. Now, this number 9 is also under similar shapes. So, if the area scale factor of two similar shapes is this, so and then determine the linear scale factor. So, which means we're moving from area to linear. So, when you're moving from area to linear, you square root the linear, right? But if you are moving from linear to volume, you cube root the linear. So that means when you are moving from linear to volume, you cube it. Just same thing we just finished down in question number 8. So that means we're going to have the square root of 49 ratio square root of what, 1 to 1, and this gives us 7 to what, 11, which is this option here. So number 10 now. Now find the diameter of a circle whose circumference is 44 centimeters. So that means circumference of a circle could either be 2 pi r or pi d. But in this case, you have to find diameter. In that case, we're going to make use of pi d, and it is equals to 44. So once it's equal to 4, let's represent this one to be 22 over 7 d equals to what, 44. So we can cross multiply here. Then we're going to have 22d equal to 7 times what, 44. Divide both sides by 22, then d will then be equal to 7 times 44 divided by what, 22. 22 here 1, 22 here what, 2. So 7 times 2 equals to what, 14 centimeters. And that gives this answer here. So move to question. Now, question 11 says, the angle of elevation of the top of a tree from a certain point on the ground is 55 degrees. If the tree is 15 meters high, how far is the point from the bottom of the tree? So the first thing we need to sketch, we sketch the angle of elevation of the top of a tree from a certain point. Assuming this is the point here from the horizontal ground, the point is here, right? So you have a tree that is here. The tree is 15 meters high, and you want to look at it, and you raise your head up. That's angle of elevation. You raise your head up to be what, 55 degrees. And the question asks you to find how far is the point from the bottom of this is the bottom of the tree, and this is the point. So we are looking for this place. So in this case, we're going to make use of this is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse, and this is the right angle triangle, and this is going to be what, adjacent. In that case, we're going to have opposite over adjacent. That we're using what, twa, using twa. So that means we're going to have tan 55 degrees equals to opposite, which is 15, divided by what, adjacent, which is what, x. So when you cross multiply, you have x equals to 15 divided by what, tan 55, and x will then be equals to 10.5031. So approximately is going to give a 10.5. So that's the answer there. All right, so we have this question here. So the top surface of a dining table is 130 centimeters by 110 centimeters. One quarter of the table is covered by cloth. Find the area of the surface that is not covered. So the first thing is to find the area of the dining table, which is length times what? Breadth. So area of the table is length times breadth, which will give us 130 multiplied by what? 100 and what? 10, right? So that gives us 14,300. Good. Then the next question I ask is one quarter of the table is covered by clothes. So let's find one quarter of it. One quarter means 1 over 4 multiplied by what? 14,300. And that will give us, that is 3,575. So that means this is the area that is covered. So we now need to calculate the area that is not covered. That means the area that is not covered will then be what? 14,300 minus 3,575, and that is 10,700 and what? 25, and that is this option here. So move on to the next question. All right, question 13 says find the value of x in the figure below. So this is all this from what we have 4x, x, 2x, 3x. That is sum of angles at a point. So which equals over 360. That means it's going to be 4x plus x plus 2x plus 3x must be equals to what? 360 degrees. So that is 4x plus x, that's 5x plus this 7x, 10x. That is 10x equals to what? 360. Divide both sides by 10 by 10. Therefore, x equals to what? 36 degrees. And that is this option C here. So that is clear. Okay, next question. All right, this question number 14 says find the angle marked x in the figure below. In this figure, we want to find the angle marked x. Now, the first thing is that we have two parallel lines and we have a transversal crossing the two parallel lines. So there are so many concepts that can come out from this. We have alternate angles, we have corresponding angles, and then we also have vertically opposite angle can also be there. Co-interior angle can also be what? Can also be there. So what we're going to look at now is this. So since this angle here 85 is equivalent to this angle here, its corresponding angle, that is 85 degrees. So because it's going to give us f, if you look at this angle here is formed by this line and this line, while this one is also formed by this line and this line. You can see it's giving us f backward, right? So therefore this angle and this angle are what? Equal. So if this and this are equal, sum of angles on a straight line, so sum of angles on a straight line, so this angle x and its y are the same straight line. Adjacent angles on a straight line add up to what? 180 degrees. So we're going to say x plus 85 degrees equals to 180 degrees. And the reason is what? Sum of angles on a what? Straight line. You know that? So that means it's going to give us x will then be equals to 180 minus what? 85, and that gives what? 95 degrees, which is option B. Is that clear? All right. Now, next question now. All right, this is also on similar shapes. So we have these diagrams here, and you have to find DC, and the DC is here. Let's label it to be what? X. So the first thing you need to do when you have similar shapes like this is to find the ratio of corresponding sides. You find out the ratio of corresponding sides. And how do we do that? So we look for the sides that are corresponding. So PQ corresponds to which one? You can see this is what I actually do here. um if you look at this P, it has one curve here, and Q has two curves. So I will look for a similar thing here that has one curve and two curves. That is what DC. So that is DC. That's what we're looking for. I hope I'm making sense. Good. So must be equal to, let me change the pen, DC must be equals to another corresponding. We have QR. Let's pick QR. QR. QR is from 2 here to nothing here. So that is 2 to nothing. That is what BC. I think with this we can solve it without us putting up the next ratio. So PQ, which is 15, divided by DC is what we're looking for, which is X, is equals to QR, which is 9, divided by BC, which is what, 6. So we can have this as we have here. So this can go here 2, 3 can go here, what, 3. So when we cross multiply, we have 3x, 3 times x equals to 15 times 2. So divide both sides by 3, cancel 3, 3 here 1, 3 here what, 5. That means x is equal to what, 10 centimeters, which is this option here. I hope this is clear. All right. Now, this question asks us to calculate the area of the shaded portion. We want to calculate the area of the shaded portion here. So if you look at it, we have, if you close this, um, if you close this place, this will give us a rectangle, and the area that is not shaded there is a semicircle. So which means we're going to find the area of a semicircle and the area of a rectangle, we subtract them. So that gives us the area of the shaded portion. So that means what we're going to do here now is this. So let's find the area of the rectangle. The area of rectangle here, area of rectangle is 11 times 5. 11 times 5, and that gives what, 55 centimeters square. So let's, area of the semicircle right now is, we're given this side here, we're given this side here 2, we're given this one 2, that is 4, and we have this one to be 11. We subtract 11, 4 from 11, so 4 from 11 gives what, 7. So which means the diameter here is what, 7. Hope I'm making sense. Good. So if that is the case, area of a semicircle now, area of a semicircle is half times area of a circle. So that means we're going to have half times 22/7 times r, which is the radius, and the radius is the diameter is 7. That will be, diameter will be 7/2 times 7/2. So 2 here 1, 2 here what, 11, 7 cancel what, 7. So this will give us 77, right, 77 divided by 4, divided by 4. So that gives us 19.25. 19.25. So what we're going to do now, since we have calculated the area of the semicircle to be 19.25, and this one is what, 55, everything 55. So what we're going to do, we're going to subtract. That will be 55 minus 19.25. 55 minus 19.25. So that gives 35.75 centimeters square. So that's the, this will become the what, the answer. All right. So move to the next question now. All right, question 17. Find the angle marked theta in diagram below. So what we're going to do, from what we can see here, you can see that we have a right angle triangle here. So what you're expected to do is to make use of SOHCAHTOA, and the first thing we need to do is to label the size. Let's label the size. So this is hypotenuse. This will become opposite because that is the angle facing the side, sorry, facing the angle that we have there, and why this will be what, adjacent. So in that case, so we are looking for this theta and we're given opposite and adjacent. That means we're making use of, if we look at so, we have car and what twa. So which one has OA is twa. So that means going to be what we're using twa. So that means tan theta equals to opposite, which is 6, divided by adjacent, which is what 5. So we find this tan theta will then be 1.2. So that means you're going to have theta equals to arctan 1.2. So we use the calculator to find that. So that gives us 50.1944. So when you approximate this, that gives us 50.2 degrees. So that means we have used this diagram to find angle. So we use SOHCAHTOA to find angle. So move to the next question now. All right. So question 18, find the value of x in the diagram below. So this also a right angle triangle. So we're going to use SOHCAHTOA as well to find the side. Now, before I move on, how are you going to know if you're going to make use of SOHCAHTOA or Pythagoras theorem? So once you are given angle and a side and you're looking for one side, that means SOHCAHTOA. Or it's possible that you're given two sides and you're looking for one angle. Looking for one angle. That is the question we just finished now, and which is which is this question here. You can see we are given two sides, we're looking for an angle. So that is SOHCAHTOA, because under Pythagoras theorem you don't need angle. So just you'll be given two sides and looking for the other side. So in this case, we're making use of SOHCAHTOA. So let's label the sides first. That should be the first thing. So this is the hypotenuse, this is the opposite, and this is the adjacent as well. So which means now we have nothing to do with the hypotenuse. We're looking for x, we're given what a. So that means we're making use of what toa as well. So that will be what tan 54 equals to opposite, which is x, divided by what adjacent, which is what 100. So we look for tan 54 from our forgettable or from our calculator. So that gives us 1.3764 equals to x all over 100. So that means x, when we cross multiply, x will then be equals to 100 multiplied by 1.3764. So when we multiply by 100, we're going to have 137.64. So approximately, we're going to have 138 centimeters. I hope this is clear. All right, so let's move to the next question. All right, question 19. Find the area of the figure below. This is a triangle. So you are given this side, the height, you're given the base. So area of a triangle is what? Half base times height. So that is half times base, which is 7, times the height, which is 6. 2 here 1, 2 here what 3. So 7 times 3 gives us 21 centimeters squared. So that's that on that. Next question now. Now the last question here. In the figure below, find the side marked X. Right? Find the side marked X. So you're given this. So this side is given. This side is also given. We're looking for this side, right? But if you look at this thing, you have this line. That means this line and this line are the same. So which means this place also was 3 centimeters. So we can, before we can do this, the first thing we need to do is to find this side here. Let's call it Y. So without this, we cannot get X. So what we're going to do, we make use of this base here, which is 6 and 10. So this is hypotenuse, this is opposite or what adjacent. So whichever one. So we use Pythagoras theorem. You can see now. So you can see that we are not dealing with angles here, we're dealing with size. So that means, and Pythagoras theorem says hypotenuse square equals to opposite square plus what? Adjacent square. Now we have hypotenuse, that is 10 squared, equals to opposite, that is what we're looking for. This is the opposite here, that is y squared, for adjacent, so which will give us 6. 3 plus 3, 6 squared. So from here, this will give us 100 equals to what? Y squared plus what? 36. So that means y squared equals to 100 minus 36. That means y squared equals to what? 64. Therefore y equals to what? Square root of 64, which is equal to what? 8 centimeters. So which means this is 8 centimeters. So we can then use the figure we have here to find this one. So we are going to make use of this triangle here, the one I'm going to draw with a blue pen. So this is the triangle we're going to look now. So we are going to, this is given us as 3, and this is what we are looking for, and this is 8. So x here is also hypotenuse. That will be x squared equals to 3 squared plus what? 8 squared. That is 9 plus 64. So that will give us x equals to what? 73. So x equal to square root of 73. So which will give us, so that gives us 8.54440. So approximately that gives you 8.5. So that is that on this. So this is all going to stop in this video. And if you find this video useful and helpful, so don't forget to give us a big like and a comment below, and make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed, and share the video with your loved ones. So we'll meet in our next video. Bye for now.